Started playing football from a very, very young age, as soon as I could walk. My dad, many know him as a good musician, but he also fancied himself as a footballer as a kid. So when he took the music route, he used his sons as like the footballers. So he was very present, drove me to every training game, bought all the cleats for me, like took really good care of me. All through my life growing up, it was a fun game. It was something I was good at quite quickly, but it was probably more until I was like 14 or 15 I got serious, which is when I joined West Ham Academy. And then from then on, it was like a lot more of the possibility to be a professional.
And hopefully in the future, I'd like to play football for money. If not, maybe go into coaching.
At West Ham at 18, I didn't get a professional contract, so they released me. And I was looking for teams throughout the whole professional ladder. And it was very difficult. So I ended up playing semi-professional for the year, from 18 years old to 19. But the semi-pro experience was quite brutal. It definitely helped mature me quickly, and I learned a lot, but it was also a bit of an unknown space where I wasn't sure what was going to happen to me. And in that moment, I didn't have a ton of guidance within the sport and in the industry, so I didn't know what to do. And so my mum, being a really, really loving and caring mum, she saw this opportunity of going to college still in America so that I could still continue my education, still have a sports scholarship so I could play soccer and get a degree for free. So that was kind of really my mum's idea. And at the time, because I was so kind of lost, basically, I felt like, worst case, I can come home, but let me give it a chance. And then when I came out here, I just carried on making a life for myself here. The college years were my most important by far, because as an elite academy player in England, you obviously work so hard and sacrifice so much to become that when it gets slammed closed in your face, the door, you feel like you have no idea what's left. When I said I didn't have a lot of guidance at that time, it's because when you take a blow like that, really you have to understand, in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world. But if no one's there to kind of help you through that, it is your whole world is gone. I was actually supposed to get to a D1 college as well, which is a separate story. I had a full ride at D1 college too, but I wasn't deemed eligible in the NCAA clearinghouse because of a couple $100 paid too much by my academy, which is funny considering the NIL nowadays. So that helped me end up going to this Division II college that had slightly different rules. And when I was there, I actually completely let go of the idea of being a soccer player. It was the first time in my life I could have a breather and just totally, I was still training every day, playing every day and loving it, but I completely let go of the idea that I had to be a footballer. I was like, I could be anything. It doesn't matter who I'm going to become. I was majoring in psychology. I was studying a wide variety of subjects for fun. So those were my best years, because I actually was able to shed the skin of my younger days and then spend some time formless, not needing to have to sacrifice and work towards one particular thing, which let me engage in other aspects of life and have more fun and explore and experiment until eventually, after a couple of years of that in college, I came back to the conclusion and decision myself that I wanted to play football. But it was a lot more of an independent decision. It wasn't something the outside world was putting onto me. It was more of a conscious, intentional decision for myself to say, actually, no, I do love playing football. And if I can turn this into a career, then I think I'll be one of the luckiest guys possible. And so it kind of confirmed my beliefs, but for myself for this time. The transition and things of that nature weren't too crazy for me because of my previous experience growing up. Definitely had to adjust to being a professional. But since I had prior experiences, the type of adjustment wasn't too crazy for me. It felt natural, and it felt like something that I was totally ready for, to be honest. As an English person, we earned the right to be promoted twice in a row. And to not be able to go and compete in the league above was frustrating. I understand the rules here and I get why. But there was still something in me that was a little bit irked by that. Yeah, and then myself not personally, individually finding the next state level, then if I can't be promoted with the team, then I was going to look for it individually. And not being able to do that frustrated me a lot, I have to say. In 2019, I'd always had ambitions to continue playing in Europe or closer to home. Like I never wanted to stay permanently in America. So after the successes I had and then feeling the frustrations I just described, I decided at the end of 2019 to try and just go on trials in Europe, because my desire was to try and find other levels. Perhaps I felt like I deserved it or earned it with the performances and stuff, but you know, if life doesn't offer those things for you, then there's always a reason for that. So I tried to take matters into my own hand and move away for a year, and I chose the worst year in history to try in 2020 to try and find other options, and so that's what led me back again in 2021 to come back to the league. It felt a little bit surreal in the beginning because, especially in my Louisville days, this was like the most derby type game you could have. You know, in other countries, the derby is the same city, but if it's like a 2-hour drive in America, that's close enough, you know. So I really tried to emotionally held Indy as like a grittier, like tougher, more determined game that we really wanted to fight against them, almost to the point of trying to hate the players, hate the team, you know, hate the club. After my other years at other clubs, that sort of softened up a bit, so I didn't feel the same animosity, you know, or competitiveness against them. But being here still does feel funny to me because it was always a rival. I've always heard good things about the club, so I knew the club ran well and had a good culture about it. But to be able to be here and to represent them now it's a funny way the world works, you know. Yeah.